Hi, everybody. It is December 27th, 2023. Remember that I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient, so everything in my videos is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer is down in the box, along with if you want a reading, shoot me an email. There's the buy me the coffee nonsense. One thing I do want to address, yeah, I thank you everybody last Saturday who checked to make sure they were still subscribed. Back at the 500 mark. So of course I am getting the emails from YouTube to go monetized. But after reading a lot of the stuff, I made the choice to let's wait to see if I can maintain 500 plus for at least 90 days before I make the decision whether or not to become monetized, because I do have to check with the Social Security office because of a spinal stenosis and RSD. I am on disability, and I don't want to jeopardize my medical benefits. And if I make too much money, especially reportable via like YouTube, ABC Corp, I cannot afford to pay for an independent health insurance policy. So unless YouTube wants to cover my medical costs, I may not go monetized at all. Okay, so just wanted to make that clear to everybody. Now, I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. We had Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. Yeah, I know that everybody's been watching, a lot of people are watching Fiona and Graham. Another lovely lady that a lot of people I know we have cross subscribers is Blair, Duchess of Narcissus. I've been informed that she most likely will be going live on Saturday. So in order not to split numbers and draw people away from one live to another live and everything, Saturday's video, I'm just going to put it up and have it published as soon as it's finished uploading. So there will be a video on Saturday. It'll probably go up in the morning, but so it does not conflict with Fiona, Graham, and Blair. Okay, because those are going to be live streams and mine is just pre-recorded. So it's as soon as it's done uploading, it's up for public view. That's what Saturday's video will be. Now on to today. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, a lot of people are seeing the nonsense going on here in the United States with the politics. There's poop hitting the fan all in the UK. I just want to get on to a couple things before I get into the rationale why everybody's going batshit crazy. They did announce the passing of this guy that in Germany they called Mr. Austerity, Wolfgang Schlabel. He was 81. He passed away, and he was basically the finance minister during the EU financial crisis back very couple decades ago. And he was one of the guys primarily in charge during the reunification of Germany after the wall went down. So he made sure that Germany was, their finances, their budget was in the black. And even though he worked under Kohl and Merkel, he still had Germany solvent. But of course, over time, let's put it this way, the EU has basically created a financial disaster for most countries. Where, I mean, right now it's like some occult group is bragging all over the place saying, oh, we've taken over Paris and we did it in less time than Adolf. Well, yeah, we know. It's the Shiite Muslims. They're taking their orders out of Tehran. It's like in Afghanistan, if you're a single woman with no male protector, you're being tossed into prison. Now, in Pakistan, which is primarily a Muslim country, that's why it was there was the big division. When Pakistan broke off from India to become its own country, it was so the Hindus could stay in India and the Muslims could go into Pakistan. Now, women are basically being victims of all sorts of abuse. The government is not protecting them. This is the Shiite Sharia law. Men can beat their wives. I mean, especially back in down in Iran. If a woman goes out and she's not basically covered head to toe with only her eyes peeping out, she's arrested. And more often than not, once a woman is arrested in Iran for not having her hair for not being covered up completely, if she's released from police custody, it's usually so her family can turn off life support. Now, these are the type of people that are invading Europe, the UK, the United States. We have to stand up because we've got this crisis happening, this worldwide jihad invasion. And while Rishi Sunak is making a sarcastic video telling Harry he's got the wrong number, Jojo here is taking off for a vacation to St. Croix. If you go on your international news websites, you're going to see that right now in Nigeria, they're being victimized by the jihadists. Any Christian neighborhood community basically is being decimated. It's coming to, I'm waiting because it's going to soon start happening here in the United States. I mean, these Sharia law fools, the occults, I mean, there was a big scandal in the UK about a group of men who were basically persuading young English girls into being their sexual play toys. And then these girls, so many, what is that one girl who went over she was at 14, 15, 16, went over to become an ISIS bride and now wants back in? But folks, they want Sharia law worldwide. That's why I keep saying, and on Elon's platform and here, I keep saying we've got to basically we need to Dresden, Gaza, and Iran. These are the extreme Shiite, and all the little subgroups like Hezbollah, Hamas, ISIS, Taliban, they all take their marching orders out of Tehran. And right now, it's getting bad because already the occult military is taking pot shots at U.S. military bases in Iraq. So Biden isn't saying anything. U.S. government isn't saying anything about this. They're saying, oh, World WW3 may start. I go, it already started. Right now, we've got the India's Navy primed in the Arabian Sea, just south of Yemen, because Yemen is controlled by Iran. And they keep shooting missiles and drone attacks on every single ship that enters into the Red Sea to go up through the Suez Canal. Right now, many shipping companies are now telling them to reroute, go all the way around the bottom of Africa, the continent of Africa. But we know India, Sri Lanka has said no to get the Chinese ships out of their ports. India is sending their Navy vessels to the Arabian Sea. So right now, Yemen has India to their south via the water, and Saudi is to their north, primed. So if Yemen doesn't stop this disruption of shipping traffic, remember, it's entertainment purposes only. Saudi is going to attack from the air, bomb the crap out of them, and the Indian Navy is going to be shooting north, and they're all going to land within the alleged country of Yemen. It's not going to be pretty. The next target is going to be Iran. Iran is already trying to further decimate Iraq, because Iraq basically kicked out the extremists. And Iran doesn't like the fact. Iran wants Iraq back under their thumb, under their control. Yes, it is. That's what's going on right now. We have to keep our eyes open. We're seeing all these rainbow fools. I mean, back in 2020, they were the BLM brats. Then they went into this rainbow, god-awful, whatever my pronoun nonsense is. Now these stupid fools are idolizing Palestine, the Hamas, the I-cults, and they don't even know basic history. There's one clown on, I guess, on that CCP application that is saying that Jesus was born in a Muslim country. I'm like, wrong! Of the big three, first there was Judaism. That was the first big organized religion. Then there was Christianity, and then there was Islam. So these uneducated 20-something brats, I would say basically a lot of people from below the age 40 on down, know nothing. All they know how to do is walk around with their nose and they're pointed down at their cell phone. Take away their cell phone, they're lost. They couldn't even find their way home. If you plunked them someplace, they would have no clue on how to get home. Take away their cell phone, they're lost. So we've got, and now they're upset because, okay, Kanye West, he's actually from the suburbs of Chicago. And allegedly he said some stupid stuff. And people are like, oh, he's anti-Semitic. But think about it. When he was saying that stuff, he was still kind of under the control of his ex-wife's family. And they're the type of people that basically, he's had to have medication because he does deal with a certain mental illness, and it's all his life, and he's always been on the correct meds. Well, getting tangled up with that group of women that use the last name beginning with K, they messed up his medication. So of course he's going to go off the deep end at times, and he is going to say things that are incorrect. Well, I do know for a fact that his mom was friends, very good friends with their neighbors in that Chicago suburb. So he knows these neighbors very well, and they're long-term friends of his late mother. Well, I do know for a fact that one couple who knew him since he was a kid, they are now bouncing back and forth between Illinois and California. And I've noticed ever since this couple has been splitting their time in California, Kanye has straightened out his act. So basically, my gut feeling is telling me that old family friends have stepped in to get him, to help him get back healthy, to help him disentangle himself from the horrible influence of that group of women who make their living off of reality TV. So, any guy that's out there, think of it. Every single guy who's gotten tangled up with that group of women, they've all been, I would say, a victim of domestic abuse, emotional, psychological abuse. I mean, maybe that's why most of those girls, most of their kids are illegitimate, because the guys know it's better to remain a baby daddy than a husband. So, yeah, we, right now we've got to be watching out. I did put up on the other day, on Christmas morning, I did have my video of when I went down on Christmas Eve. And into the Chicago Loop and the old Marshall Fields, which is now Macy's. And while I was down there, I actually ran into a lot of these alleged refugees, migrants. I'm using the term wetback. Anyone who comes into the United States illegally via the Rio Grande, or coming off a tender boat and wading up to shore on the Florida beaches. Yeah, their back is wet, so they're a wetback. It's not exclusive to an illegal Mexican. We're getting people from North Africa. We're getting people from Syria. These are all military-aged men. We're getting people from communist China. We're being invaded, people. Ireland has already been invaded. They're having extreme battles right now. People cannot even communicate over an electronic device, because it's now okay for the Irish government to break into somebody's house and seize all their electronic devices. It's happening. In the UK, you've got people coming in by the boatload daily, and because there are so many people in the UK who are of the same cultural background, they are allowing these men who insist on Sharia law becoming worldwide. They're letting it happen. No matter what Charles says, Charles must be cringing at the fact that the true British way of life is being destroyed. Our American way of life is being destroyed. When you move here, people would assimilate to become an American. Now these fools expect us to accommodate them. Yeah, I kind of got into the face of a couple of those alleged migrants, refugees. But if anybody sees those, go walk around and you start looking at them. All their little begging signs say the same thing. It's like they're all on brown cardboard from like a box, written with black marker. Start taking notice of them. It looks like these signs for the begging, for their begging bowls, are all mass produced. Look at the stuff I posted up on Elon's platform. It's Glinda the Good 17 at Glinda the Good 004, 0004. Yeah, look at them. I mean, the women hide their faces because they don't want to be identified. But the guys, I stared right in his face. The little girl with the kid. Look at that family that's hanging out in front of the window of Marshall Field's Macy's. It's disgusting. We need to just dump them on a chart. I mean, Baboon Johnson is crabbing so much about it that now the buses are dumping the people off at the different commuter metro stops. Our commuter train from the suburbs into downtown is called Metro. The other day, a big group was dumped off in the town of Elmhurst, Illinois, which is ironic because going back to the 1970s, I remember we were at this one shopping center called Oakbrook, and I was with my mother. So 1970s, I was a teenager. And we were in one of the stores, and one of the salesmen said, yes, it's like we deal with so much. If it wasn't for umbrellas, half of the population of the town of Elmhurst would drown. There were a bunch of bleeding heart liberals. It was 2 women from the town of Elmhurst that doxed me in 2020. And the people on Elon's platform, shoot me a direct email or a direct message, and I'll let you know who those 2 ringleaders are. If I put their names up, they'll accuse me of doxing them. But hey, if you want to know, shoot me an email. Shoot me a direct message. And then that's Elmhurst. And then the other town that is this bleeding heart liberal woman who is the state senator for the area, Janet Yellen, who basically, she campaigned on the fact that she survived breast cancer. That was what she campaigned on. If you went through this and you don't vote for me, then you're no good. Well, they dumped off a bunch of the illegals in her town. Naperville's very woke. Why weren't they opening up their own houses? Why wasn't Elmhurst opening them, letting people into their homes with open arms? They're so liberal and so supportive, but no one in either of those Chicago suburbs is willing to welcome a refugee family into their own home. Yeah, you can talk the talk, but you can't do the walk. How many people in New York? New York's pretty blue. Yeah, Mayor Adams is like having to cut everything, and now he's in big doo-doo. How come there aren't all these liberal, bleeding heart New Yorkers taking in these people? What about the people in Denver? Yeah. It's like, oh, you're willing to go and vote blue for no matter who? You're willing to, in the UK, you're willing to vote for a migrant or someone of a migrant family? But you won't. People won't vote for a real American or a real Brit who's looking out for the other Brits. Like I say, it's time for us to stand up, people. I mean, they're already bragging that they've destroyed and taken over France. Thank goodness Italy has Giorgia Meloni. Hungary is safe because Viktor Orban said, no way am I dealing with this crap. Austria's getting there. Is like, no, we're not putting for it. We dealt with the Auschwitz in 1938. We're not going to let our country be decimated by another group of false ideology. It's turning into a battle against an evil cult. And everybody who does not agree with the evil cult. We need to stand together and get rid of these people. One way or another. I am all for, instead of Baboon Johnson, Adam's apple, instead of housing them, charter a jet and take them back to their country of origin. That's what we need to start doing. Or bring back the coffin ships. Kind of somber today, but yeah. So yeah, like I said, Saturday's video is just going to go pop up early in the morning. So it doesn't conflict with Fiona, Graham, and Blair. And what is it, New Year's Eve? I'll be going live. And so everybody can come in and start asking your New Year's questions. I have to limit to two questions per person. That's on New Year's Eve. Down in the comments today, please let me know what time is best for everybody. I'm thinking about maybe 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 11 p.m. UK time, and that way we can welcome the new year in together. So, about 5 o'clock New Year's Eve, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 11 p.m. UK time. So, we'll welcome the new year in together, and I'll be live, and people can ask their questions for the new year. So yeah, everybody have a great day and great evening, and the video will be up for viewing Saturday morning. Talk later. Bye-bye.